Hello, this is Pat Lynch and
producer Jason from Behind the Board.
Behind the Board, out from the shadows. And this is As the World Turns or Burns. Normally, I'd be joined by the charismatic Kieran O'Keefe and the bodacious, the
soon-to-be presidential candidate.
Presidential candidate Brendan Connell, but they are off sunning themselves on some beach somewhere. Actually, they're just teaching our students, and so this is another special episode with Jason and I. Today, it's Trump v. Pope. Okay, there's been a little kerfuffle, brouhaha.
Yeah.
That's been going on with Donald J. Trump and Pope Leo. Pope Leo had the audacity to kind of say that war is not a good thing, and that we really shouldn't be out killing people. And then our president eloquently, how did he clap back on this audacious statement?
Well, he kind of just went full blown into his little AI true social mode, and I think that was when he posted the picture of himself as a doctor.
Yeah.
And it was a picture of him healing somebody with beautiful rays of light behind him, which I actually don't know what has anything to do with the claim of war is bad. People who start war are bad, and then he replies he's a healer, but I mean, you're actually literally physically killing people as you speak. So I don't really, and also even if you weren't in the middle of a war, I don't know what that picture would even be promoting, to be honest. So
well, and obviously it's to most people that they would see that as blasphemous in terms of equating himself with Jesus, and that just that was wrong, and just having this war of words with the Pope, who's just basically just trying to say he's a man of peace, and just let it go, because like it or not, the United States initiated this conflict against Iran, and in this conflict, we've had Americans lost, I think 13.
More being sent today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can't tell you as far as the number of Iranian citizens that have been killed. Obviously, that he decimated the Iranian leadership as far as all the religious leaders, but in the process, a school of young girls gets blown up, and that's what war is. War is, it's it's just awful. And so when you get that criticism, that kind of criticism from the Pope, which as a Catholic, the Pope channels the word of God through the Pope, saying that this is not a good thing, I would just let it go. But of course, that's not our commander in chief.
Yeah, somebody said that they're going to take away the Pope's citizenship or something like that. He's not a true American.
Yeah.
But I also found it really funny that because I feel obviously the Pope is the Pope's job is obviously never to be hey, you're terrible.
Right.
It's always to try to give a kind of sort of message on current things that are going on, especially from a religious standpoint, because there's a lot of people that look up to him. I just find it so funny that Trump has to self-insert himself into everything.
Right.
Because instead of this being it's not obviously this is the main big war that's in the news, especially in American news, where the Pope knows that he's probably going to be heard. But also it's not the only thing going on. It's not the only major conflict in the world right now is between America and Iran. Although, yes, it is the biggest. I just find it so funny that you could have done anything else. You could have not replied, which I think would have been smart. Or you could have just even, made a statement and said well, we have to do this or whatever. But instead you just post an AI picture of you as Jesus. I think that kind of just shows how little integrity you have for, I mean, religious people in particular. And I mean, we were just talking about this before we started, but like, you know, people like, I don't know where this idea comes from that he's just some like religious holy guy when he's not a religious holy guy. And I don't think he ever has been.
No.
So,
no. And then, you know, kind of if that wasn't bad enough, then, you know, his vice president has to jump in and start doing this, which there's a certain irony that goes with here, J.D. Vance. You know, he wants to so badly position himself as the next president in waiting, and he writes this book about, of course, converting to Catholicism and how spiritual he is. And then now he's stuck that the Pope is criticizing the war effort, which he's not he's been going along, but he's not with the war effort either. But he has to go along because to be in the Trump administration means complete and absolute loyalty. So now he's kind of got that stuck. So then so here it is that faith means everything. Faith is so deep. And now it's like, hey, Pope, stay in your lane, So quit talking about morality and and being against
stop doing
war.
the thing that you literally are designed to do.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that Pope thing. It's
just stay quiet and be old. But also, I just kind of think that like it proves the point that if they do run J.D. Vance in 2028, I will not be voting for him because obviously he has no integrity as a person. Because it is so clear that he is against the war, but he is so focused on like staying in Daddy Trump's good circle that he would rather give up his own morals to quote unquote sacrifice himself for this agenda, which is also funny because I think he's really trying to bank on, if I play really nice, I'm the VP, I might get Donald Trump's recommendation and his MAGA voters might just straight up, shift to me. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you can play nice all you want and bow down to him, but Trump's not going to endorse you. No. I almost bet Trump's not going to endorse anybody. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, he might just keep talking and talking.
There's nobody that's good enough to replace him.
Well,
it's
exactly.
Kind of the ultimate ego.
Yeah.
Well, let's get down to the real thing because we were talking about this yesterday. That in order for the Pope versus Trump to really get settled, okay, let's settle this thing in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trump v. Pope, it's the
showdown.
The showdown, the ultimate showdown. Now, all right, so okay, they're gonna, they got each of their camps. Mm-hmm. And they're going to start, negotiating, okay, the terms of this event. So first, what kind of fight is this going to be? What kind of fight favors who?
Well, I think first, before we decide on the fight, we got to decide on the location because this is something we didn't really think about this, but we can't have any biased locations, So we have to eliminate Chicago and New York right away.
Right.
Florida, we got to remove Florida, which is where a lot of those fights happen. So, and we can't do like any, Saudi Arabia is another one where a lot of those UFC fights happen. So we got to eliminate that.
Would the Pope be cool with going to Vegas?
I think Vegas would be a good.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Pope in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt he's a gambling man. Obviously, he's the Pope, but I think I think a Vegas fight night. In the Sphere.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, in the Sphere. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So now we got. So now they're agreeing on the
location,
and knowing Trump it's definitely going to go pay-per-view, right?
Oh well, yeah, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like the Patriot Pass. It's gonna be like $119.99 12 card fight or something. I don't know, like an all-day event.
Oh damn. Okay, so then it'll be, but then for a mere $10 extra, you get a Trump Bible. Thrown in.
Ooh.
Merch.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be merch. There's going to be t-shirts, and all kinds of. I don't know what he'll put on the hat, So okay,
make boxing great again.
Yeah. So
I mean, we could do boxing, UFC. That was the other.
Here's
thing.
the thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now the terms of the fight. So if they go UFC, who does that favor?
I think. Well, okay. I think UFC it favors Trump, right? Because even though Trump's just bigger, he's a bigger guy.
Oh,
I think like if he gets on the ground at all, I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I don't see many people getting up from just Donald Trump laying on them. Right.
Yeah, his 240 reported pounds. That's actually more like 340. Yeah. That's going to take the air out of you. You know, if he's sitting on you. Okay, so Pope Leo. I think
Pope Leo, but also Pope Leo reminds me of like, you know, like he's kind of like he's a classic like bullfighter, you know, he's a Chicago guy, you know,
right?
But from the mud, you know, I think of like Raging Bull when I think of that. Like I think of the city guy, you know, I could see boxing being really good. I almost wonder what other sports, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a contact sport, although I think contact sports would be perfect.
Oh, no, this has to be settled like mano a mano.
I was going to say wrestling maybe, but I think Trump also has him there. I think boxing would be the best because Donald Trump definitely has an advantage with reach, but I think the spirit of the Pope is there.
Yeah, Pope, you know, he's got the height advantage, so I don't know how much he can get with a haymaker. But he can work that midsection, you know. You know, he'll just work that thing and
hit one of those clogged arteries. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and so then you know, and obviously you know he can do a little rope-a-dope because I think the cankles and everything with Trump's gonna slow him down.
Trump's older by how much?
He's like 80. The Pope, goodness gracious, I don't know. Maybe he's got him by 20 years.
How old is Pope Leo? 7. Oh, not that Pope Leo. Jesus, 461. Let's look up
back from the dead.
He is 69.
69. Okay, so it's only a mere so a mere 10 years that they. So boxing also would go 10 rounds, which then you know that obviously.
But I mean, also I know how Trump operates. He's going to be setting his own rules, right? So like all the rules are gonna be different. I feel like it's never the same thing with him. It's always gotta be like, oh, it's on my terms, or we gotta change this for some reason. You know, who knows why? It just says things. So I mean, it could be like 7 rounds. I think 7 rounds is what they do for like exhibition matches.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I think they do 7 because if I remember, like McGregor versus Mayweather was like 12.
Yeah,
I don't remember. It was like a large amount, but usually for just like regular.
Okay. So a 7-rounder, which still give that to Pope Leo. Now, Trump plays hardball and says the only way I'm going in is it has to be the octagon and it has to be UFC. Okay, so what's the fighting? Okay, what's Trump's strategy to take out Pope Leo?
You got to get him to the ground. Okay. Also, with this UFC, I think this would be great too. We got to get Connell in on this because Connell's a UFC god. Like he would dig this conversation. But I think you got to grapple him. I think you got to get him to the ground. Right. I think if you're gonna beat the Pope, you're not gonna beat him in hand to hand. You're gonna have to strangle him down and really like try to not necessarily cause damage on the ground, but you're gonna have to be like winning rounds just by simply submission.
Okay, yeah,
that's his only strategy. I don't see Trump having him in anything else, especially not power.
Okay, so what? Okay, so here's Pope Leo. How's he gonna beat Trump in the octagon?
God.
He's got the Holy Spirit.
He's got the Holy Spirit on his side. Yeah. I think the Pope is packing a punch. I really do. I think he's got like a sneaky, like strong.
If he brought some holy water and sprinkled it, do you think Trump would start burning?
Yeah, just burn.
Just a thought, random thought.
I feel like also the Pope might be like sneakily really flexible. Like I feel like Trump wouldn't be expecting it, but maybe like he does a flying kick or something and hits Trump square in the jaw. That could be an instant KO.
Take the knees.
Oh yeah,
go for the cankles.
I mean, he's a young buck. He's only 69, and Trump's 80. I mean, I can't I think like Trump is definitely, he reminds me more of like a blocky big guy, that's how he's gonna fight. I feel like the Pope's kind of got like McGregor energy,
Okay.
Very, very likes to use his legs a lot, his knees a lot.
But now Pope Leo, he in his camp, so they're gathering up at the Vatican, and he's doing his 2-a-day training and everything, and jogging and working the bag really good. What kind of dirty tricks can they expect from
who? From Pope or Trump?
From the Trump. Oh, the Trump. See, Trump's going to bet that the Pope, okay, he's a man of God. He's not going to, hit me below the belt or do any of that. But now the Pope has to expect that, there's no rules. It's no holds barred from the Trump camp, right? So what can he expect?
I think there's going to be some. I think there's going to be some espionage. I think Trump has the difference between the Pope and Trump is Trump's got the power of the entire government on his side. So I think there's going to be a little bit of like counter intel, getting like understanding what the Pope's strategy is going to be. He's going to try to have people in his camp. Might spike the water, maybe
there you go. Yeah.
Or maybe like in his sleep, hit him with estrogen shots or something, I like remove as much testosterone as possible. I could see a lot of dirty tricks.
Yeah, a little metal pipe or something like that. To throw some sawdust in his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe put some weights in the gloves.
Oh, there we go.
A little bit of a brass knuckle action. But that's a little difficult with the UFC gloves because they're like actual tight fit gloves. But I feel like they could definitely.
Okay, now how are they going to possibly suit up? Because
Trump's going to wear a shirt. Trump is not going shirtless.
That's where I was headed.
Trump won't even be shirtless for his autopsy. That man will never be seen shirtless.
Now, is he going to have one of those floor length red ties that's what he's going to go into the ring with?
I feel like he could definitely wear like some sort of like Hot Topic t-shirt.
There you go. Yeah.
Something really non-Trumpian. I feel like he'd show up in or maybe he'd show up in here's a good one.
Yeah.
Make a shirt of him as the doctor, the healer, and put it on the shirt and wear that for fight night.
Oh yeah. Get in your head.
Get into the Pope's head.
I'm in your head,
Jesus.
Pope, rent free.
Yeah, I'm the new Jesus. I'm the second coming.
All right.
Fighting me is satanic.
Yeah, okay. That's whoo. All right. Well, if we're every time I do this, I feel like I've just booked a ticket to hell. It's like, oh my God. I remember years ago that I was nervous reading the Da Vinci Code, and then I saw a Book of Mormon, and it was so funny, and I thought again, God, God's already kind of said, okay, I got. You're taking that elevator down, Lynch, and now here we are making. Oh gosh,
I feel like I feel like the Pope. Okay, here's the thing though. I don't think this is like anti, religious talks because I feel like this is a very valid question. I mean, not a valid question, obviously, but like a valid situation. We're making fun of a really serious situation. I mean, but also like. The thing about the Pope is over the course of history, think about how many popes have been in the depths of war and stuff like that, crusading.
Yeah.
It's not a clear cut, peaceful job all the time. They're definitely very peaceful now, but the Pope's job wasn't always, I'm just striking peace. It's what God wants.
Right.
You're technically the speaker through God as the Pope. So it's that's
kind of flip the script for a moment on a serious note is that the message from Pope Leo, Pope Francis is one of understanding, compassion, taking care of the poor, looking, it's one that you don't hoard your riches, you share it, you
accept people for who they are,
all this of acceptance, which. Goodness gracious, could we use some of that in this administration in terms of just the, it's not just, waging a war in Iran, but it's blowing up boats off of the coast of South America. It's the ICE raids as far as for, all these, snapping up all these poor people, sending people that are just here in this country on basically it's just a misdemeanor and sending them to some notorious prison in El Salvador. All of that is just, counter to the Catholic faith, which it would be, all this that, the tax policies that favor the rich, it's just, one that for somebody to just have that message of peace, understanding, compassion, empathy, love. It may not be politically expedient, but if any of that could get through, my goodness, just how much better things would be. And the Pope's naive. The Pope doesn't. What was it? The Pope is soft on crime. What?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
What the? Yeah, like what the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
Because it's like, I mean, the thing is it's like he's not like he's like the political leader of a country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's soft on crime. It's like he doesn't have crime policies.
Yeah.
I mean, like he has opinions that are, the words of God is what it is, right? He's not like he's like saying like, oh yeah, by the way, you're only going to get 6 months for lead.
Yeah.
Like that's not what his job is. He's not a prime minister. He's not a president. I mean, there is no soft on crime, I feel like, for that. It's just like the wording is just, this is kind of like the Trump thing. It's like, just like using this like weird political jargon garbage talk for things that don't need to be politicized, And also the other funny thing too is it's like there's been a lot of talks, especially with this war and like the people talking about peace and stuff and calling Trump a fascist and how he was getting angry about being called a fascist. It's like, well, dude, if you don't want to be called a fascist, then stop doing fascist things. Stop starting wars and trying to control people and remove people from your society that don't favor your group.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what that is. You're literally acting as like not a dictator, but an authoritarian leader. I mean, that's. You don't want to be one, don't be one. You don't have to be one.
All right. So, as enticing as this thing is, and it could be the biggest pay-per-view event ever.
Yeah.
Call us up, guys, if you want us to organize it. It's not going to happen. But
who would be the undercard? Kim Jong-un versus Putin?
Oh no, who would be the undercard? Who would be the undercard?
Maybe Marco Rubio versus like, I don't know, like pick somebody who would. Ooh, this is a good one. I think we should do like JD Vance versus like Mamdani. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something just like two young bucks who could really go at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Marco Rubio's not young enough for that. That's why I was trying to pick JD Vance. He's only like what, 41, 40? I don't remember.
He's just north of 40, I think. Yeah.
So he's a young buck. I mean, get a couple young bucks in there and let it fly out,
All right. Yeah, we'll take that. And so the event won't happen, but okay, is the trolling going to continue?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So so that's pretty guaranteed that so he's not going to let this go. So somewhere at 3 a.m, he's going to just be up there creating another meme. What about the Pope? Is he just going to, it's like I just show him the hand or what? Or
I don't know what the Pope's next move is. I think the Pope's next move is just not to respond.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to respond. Even if he responds, he's not going to respond directly to Trump. I think Francis might have directly criticized. Did he directly criticize Trump? I don't remember if he did or not. But, yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily the smartest play. Because I think you just like you're putting them down to your level. The especially like the religious people in the United States, like even if they're not Catholic, I definitely think there's a lot of them who are MAGA and who will always vote MAGA as a part of this movement, who definitely think that Trump is not religious and Trump is an idiot. And kind of definitely view the Pope as like a respectable figure. I mean, he wasn't just like some random dude they threw in there. You know what I mean? Like he was chosen by a really select, highly religious group of individuals. And so, I mean, I think trying to go down to that level would only kind of like ruin your credibility, your base. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see where this goes.
Yeah. One final note, I will say, since we've been on this topic of fight night, bring something to the attention of people. This isn't like groundbreaking brand new stuff, but like
drum roll.
Sure.
Okay.
But I mentioned a comment that was kind of silly, was the making boxing great again thing.
Yeah.
But that's actually like happening. I don't know if you know about this, but Dana White has been like trying to get
Boxing?
So there was this Muhammad Ali Act that basically like originally like wiped out like corporate integration into the boxing.
Right.
Like so like entities like the UFC couldn't decide rankings and couldn't just like control everything and swallow all the boxing up. And it quote unquote killed boxing. Yeah. Right. So the UFC and Dana White have been trying to do this Muhammad Ali like revamping act. Yeah. Make boxing great again is literally the slogan, where they basically want to make it so that the UFC can own and can buy out all the boxing entities and own it under the UFC. And so that boxing can quote unquote be great again, so that they can decide the rankings and give people contracts. So like, and they're actively using Donald Trump and like the conservative group, since they have like a full house. Seriously, since they have like a full house in Senate control right now, they're trying to like pass this through, of course, as like some sort of like, you know, making boxing great again thing. And Trump loves it because Trump's like, you know, Dana White's buddy. And so like they've been pushing this, and it's actually crazy because it would literally give the UFC in particular, it would give Dana White, not the UFC, it would give Dana White, because he's, you know, the mastermind. It would give him literal control over all of boxing and all of mixed martial arts.
Now, is Don King still with us, or?
I don't remember.
Because, you know, he, in a lot of ways, just messed boxing up.
Yeah.
Awful. He was just so crooked and when's the last time who's the heavyweight champ of the world? No idea, you know.
But see, that's the issue. But that's also because like there's not like one entity for boxing. Yeah, but also like here's the deal is like boxing is one of these weird things where like boxing isn't super popular. Like the UFC is like everywhere. Like when you think of fighting sports,
boxing blew it. Yeah.
But here's the thing. You would think boxing blew it, so you would think nobody wants to do it. But fighters want to choose boxing over mixed martial arts, because if you go into a mixed martial arts path, you have to be signed by the UFC and you get paid literal scraps. Like you have to have a second job. Right. Boxing, because there are competitive markets, even if they're not like large, you're getting paid massive amounts of money, and you don't have to be signed under a contract, so you can only fight for this one entity. That's what the UFC wants to like replace. Is they want to literally they want to take it so that you can sign people to exclusive boxing contracts again. Right. So that way they can sign all the fighters on like these really shitty deals and just completely buy out all the small boxing entities. Because also boxing isn't big enough that like it can like have leverage, you know, and say like, no, we can thrive without the UFC. It's going to be like, UFC owns you all. No, they're going to merge it into one thing.
No, I mean, you know, the only things are like with like that. Oh gosh, what's the? Is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I think
it was Jake. Are you talking about the with what's his name? Yeah, it was like that. Oh my god. Yeah, it wasn't Floyd Mayweather. Did he fight Mayweather too?
Yeah.
He fought Mayweather, and that was like a...
Yeah, it's a joke, you know. Yeah. And then you know, you might...
Yeah, Mike Tyson too. He did that one. I've totally spaced out the Mike Tyson one.
And that's, like, Tyson's kind of, in Mayweather, are kind of the last of the Conor McGregor to...
McGregor came from the UFC,
but tried boxing.
Yeah.
But it's... But yeah, maybe, you know, Dana White can, you know, kind of get it back. And
But here's the deal is... I don't necessarily disagree that I think like boxing definitely could use like a revamp and get like a good social, but I absolutely think it's going to be terrible if the UFC owns it, because you're going to be in the exact same situation where now these fighters have to literally like pay for all of their own stuff.
Right.
They don't get they have to be forced under exclusive contracts, have to be working second jobs. Cause you know, Dana White ain't going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to pay you what we were already paying you.
Right.
No, it's going to be like, here's your new contract. It's $10,000 to fight, and it's $40,000 if you win, but you only get to fight once or twice a year.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so I basically have to live in like freaking Humansville, Nebraska to survive. It's like, no, I'm like, I think that's terrible. I think if you really want to do it, all the boxing entities should just come together as like a conglomerate like entity with a board, rather than just letting one man own it. Like
and that's UFC. Always just in that combining sports like that's always greed. And well, let's hope it works, because you know we need one more avenue for people to get CTE, cauliflower ears, you know, just you know, advanced early dementia. You know? Well, you know, let's bring it. Yeah,
absolutely. Nothing like Nothing like just absolutely ruining human bodies in a gladiator style for our own, twisted.
There you go.
Fun.
No, all right. Well, that wraps up a special edition of As the World Turns or Burns, the Pope v. Trump special episode. Thank you for watching and listening to us. Hope that you are a subscriber and a frequent listener of the podcast. If you're not, please subscribe. You see us on YouTube, that'd be great, or add us on any of the streaming platforms, right?
Yep.
And if you like this episode, share it with a friend. Share it with an enemy.
Yeah.
We don't care. Just share it. And
we need to make this fight night happen.
Make this fight night happen. Okay, that's a rallying cry.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us. Take care.
This podcast is sponsored in part by Lyon College and Kilt Studios. Thank you to Jonah Winter for the intro and outro music.